Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or Rumble channel, which I believe they call it both, a channel on both YouTube and Reddit, so I'll just say welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a review of Dragon Ball Daima, Episode 9, Thieves. Since my phone is on charge, I had to transfer my notes to Google Docs on one of my old phones, because I still have it. So yeah, these are notes from this right here is my old phone, because my current phone is on charge. I had to get a new phone because Straight Talk switched to 5G. When Straight Talk switched to a 5G network a couple years ago, my phone stopped supporting 4G network, so that's that. So I've been using this as sort of a mini tablet. Yeah. Hold on a second. Something's over here is laying down. Probably should use some of that right there. Anyways. So, Dragon Ball Episode 9 Review. English dub. I am not doing English sub. I do not have the patience to pause it that many times to read what they're saying. Okay, so yeah. And by the way, what's up with all these spoilers I keep getting up in my feed, in the news feed, of a lot of spoilers? Stop that spoiler. I don't need to see that. So, Episode 9, Thieves. So, apparently it's called Thieves because that seems to be the theme of that entire episode. So Goku, the Supreme Kai, Glorio, and Panzy, they end up staying at a hotel for the night. And this time when they go in the lobby, I am forgetting myself. Yeah, I am forgetting a couple of key details. Since Goku's from, it's not from the demon realm or anything. He has round ears. Plus, his hair would draw attention because it would attract too much attention because he defeated one of the Tamagamis. So, Panzy put a hat on Goku to hide his ears and his hair so that they could stay at a hotel for the night. Then Goku, while inside the lobby, momentarily takes off that hat and is seen by a couple of people in the hotel lobby. And those two people turn out to be thieves. Okay? So later on that night, there's like a commotion, like a ruckus going on in the lobby. They decide to go check it out. It's one of those guys from earlier, except he's taken on a different form. He's transformed, he's like a werewolf. Although I don't think you would know that it was him until a few scenes later. Well, it turned out that was a distraction. While he was doing that, the other guy broke into that room, the hotel room, and stole the Dragon Ball. Luckily, Panzy planned for that and put a tracking device on it so that Goku could track them down. Yeah. So Goku managed to track down that Dragon Ball and catch those thieves. Then he offers to stay up for tonight to watch the Dragon Ball. He ends up dozing off. And by the way, I would be surprised if he still has the Dragon Ball. Because Goku ends up dozing off while watching the Dragon Ball, and the bag has not been opened since, like, for the rest of the episode, so we do not know if the Dragon Ball is still there, because that would be a perfect opportunity to sneak in, steal the Dragon Ball, replace it with something else just as big, and they won't notice it for a while. So, I would be surprised if they still have the Dragon Ball since Goku dozed off. Although, that episode, you wouldn't know because it didn't show it. So I don't know if they still have that Dragon Ball or not. Let's see. Meanwhile, Bulma's group. No, that's what I'm going to call them. You know, with that other guy. So Panzy's father sent that guy, I forget his name, to go pick up Vegeta, Bulma, and Piccolo. I'm going to call that Bulma's group. Yeah, maybe I should do that in my notes too. I don't know. And the other one, I'm going to call that Goku's group. I think that would be easier. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Anyways, Bulma's group, which encompasses the guy who picked him up, Piccolo, Vegeta, and of course Bulma, they stay at a hotel for the night. Possibly the same one that Goku and that Goku's group stayed in on the, I think, second episode, or no, third episode. Yeah, in that episode. Because apparently the same kind of incident happened. Vegeta got into a fight at some bar because, you know, round ears. There's some kind of discrimination against people with round ears. And then the next morning, their plane got stolen. So the guy who picked him up, I do not remember what his name was. I'm sure it was mentioned in that episode. And even in the first episode that it showed, I do not remember what that guy's name is who picked him up. It just slipped my mind. But anyways, he's in contact with the king, with Panzy's father, and I guess they make arrangement for Panzy to meet them somewhere, like to meet them at that place. And apparently they were under the impression that Panzy was going to pick them up, and they was going to ride with him. However, there's not room for all of them, but they do meet up momentarily. So Goku's group and Bulma's group do meet up momentarily, and they do meet Panzy, and she recognizes Piccolo as a Namekian. So you know she's never seen one before. So yeah. So they stay there momentarily. Panzy offers to call her down and have to send over another plane to pick the Bulma's group up, and then Goku's group leaves. Then shortly after they leave, I guess the people who stole that plane, that Goku from Bulma's group, they try to ambush them and pick a fight with Vegeta again, and I guess Piccolo also, or Piccolo at least joined in the fight. And Vegeta and Piccolo overpower those thieves and defeats them. Meanwhile, Supreme Kai's sister, I think Arinsu, that's her name? For some reason, one of the first notes I have her name written as something else. She manages to create. She manages to team up with a witch, the same witch who evidently created Majin Buu, and allowed Bibbidi to take credit for that. that same wish created another Majin, I think Majin Ku is what his name was. Seemed like I seen his name on a spoiler a couple months ago. Probably when that episode was actually the latest episode. Probably when this Friday's episode was the latest episode. Viewed on the English sub. So this Friday's English sub was 12 episodes ahead of the English dub. Or at least it was when the English dub finally premiered. I don't know why they didn't do them at the same time. It's weird. Anyways. Now I forgot to mention something though. I skipped something very important. Yeah. So, Gomah somehow found out that Goku's group and Bulma's group are in the demon world. He finds out that they're there. Although Degasu waited till the next morning. So he finds out that Goku defeated Atama. All of a sudden I forgot what they're called again. And I know I mentioned it. Those Guardians. For those Dragon Balls. Gomah found out that Goku defeated one of them, and I think I made a note of that. Yeah, but I think I made a note of what those called. No, I don't guess I did. Yes, I did. Tamagami. So he finds out that Goku defeated a Tamagami. But Degasu waited until the next morning to tell him that. So I don't know if he's in on the conspiracy that Arinsu was in or what. In the previous episode, I guess Arinsu wants to overpower Gomah and take his place as the ultimate supreme ruler of the demon realm. And apparently Glorio was in on it. That's what it's seeming like. And Glorio, I guess, is using Goku to gather the demon realm's Dragon Balls. Okay, so now back to Majin Ku. So, the episode ends with Majin Ku has just been born, he just been created, and Arinsu sends him to the first demon realm to defeat that Tamagami and retrieve that Dragon Ball. To sort of test his strength. So, yeah. Let's see. What else? Did I miss anything from the notes? Oh, yeah. After Vegeta and Piccolo defeated those thieves who stole their plane, and Vegeta demands that those thieves give them back their plane, and I think that's when it then cuts over to Arinsu and that witch. I forget what her name was. The witch has the Majin symbol. The same one that Bobbity and Bibbity had on their thing. The witch who evidently created Majin Buu and allowed Bibbity to take credit for it, I guess. It's weird. Apparently only Arinsu knew about that. And apparently I was a little bit wrong because Majin Ku, even for the brief moment that we saw him for the end of the episode, he sees evil. Pure evil. I kind of expected him to be built like Majin Buu and have sort of a Majin Buu voice. But now that I mentioned it, I guess I did see that image. And sometimes when I go to when I go to a news site, like in the news feed, and sometimes it has spoilers from Dragon Ball Daima, and that was one of the spoilers. And I'm still seeing spoilers. You just can't escape them. Unless I avoid the internet. Okay, so. Yeah. The episode ends with Arinsu giving Majin Ku, I believe that's what his name is, in order to go and defeat the Tamagami from the first realm, that demon realm or world, and retrieve that Dragon Ball. And I think that's where the episode ends. So it's going to be interesting to see where in episode 10, the next episode picks up of what happens and then what comes out, if they still have the Dragon Ball. Because Goku dozed off while watching it. That would be a perfect opportunity to do a little switch. And I don't think they checked the bag since. I don't think they checked inside the bag to make sure that they actually have the Dragon Ball. They just assume that they have it. So, I do not know if they still have the Dragon Ball, or if they're assuming that they have the Dragon Ball. And I would be surprised if they do. If I am being honest. So, it's a good episode. I guess, it's a good story, it's a good plot. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens in the next episode. I guess we'll find out if they still have the Dragon Ball in the next episode. So, yeah. That is my thought. It is a good episode, or is an okay episode. If you're willing to ignore those plot holes I mentioned in my first review videos. It's not bad. And I guess according to spoilers, I guess there are still some big plot holes between Daima and Super. So nothing really gets resolved, so I guess we're going to have to assume that Daima takes place in like an alternate reality, kind of like GT does. So, yeah. And oddly enough, a few weeks ago I saw a spoiler that where it was confirmed that Dragon Ball Daima is sort of it's supposed to be like a remake of GT or something like that. I'm not sure why that they would admit that, since that was one of the initial criticisms about that. Also, shouldn't GT, like, if they're just going to do a remake of GT, shouldn't that take place after the last episode of Dragon Ball Z? Something where they